Oh, yes, daddy. Rocking that fit, my guy. Yes, sir. This man got the Iron Man fit on. I just realized that. He's got that Iron Man fit. Red with the yellow accents. I see you. I see you. Yes, sir. I'm sure I learned much from watching Cerberus do battle, Captain. Whatever the outcome may be, now I wonder what... Now that is one ambiguous way of phrasing it. I wonder what the captain meant. Oh well, I'll have plenty of time to figure it out later. Right now I should pay attention to Cerberus' performance. Captain Gerhard Raulenstein, the Sonic Baron, leader of the Road Company, and one of the 7 heroes of Great Britain. This is my chance to see whether he truly lives up to his lofty reputation. And Lieutenant Fulner, what skills may she be keeping secret? Please show me. Prove that you're a worthy member of Cerberus. Let's see it. 2 hours later. Well, that was interesting. The Empire could learn a thing or two from how the Cerberus fights in close quarters, plus their novel tactics are nothing to scoff at. Seeing the Typhoon live made me realize Lieutenant Witzelbin was right when she said it's similar to Japanese TSFs in its design and operation. Can't say it was a bad showing, all things considered. However, my imagination exceeded reality. To be perfectly honest, the Cerberus battalion did not live up to my lofty expectations. I couldn't monitor anyone outside of the Road Company, so I'm not sure if this actually extends to the whole battalion, but their teamwork left something to be desired. Captain Raulenstein's movements were indeed out of the ordinary, but I still get the impression of the 7 heroes' reputation has been blown way out of proportion. Truly disappointing. There must be at least several Royal Guard service pilots who are just as proficient in combat as he is, or even surpass him. But I only have myself to blame, and nobody forced these unreasonable expectations on me. Good work out there, Lieutenant Fulner. What is the matter, Lieutenant? Please, there's no need to feel bad about that. It would be inaccurate to say Lieutenant Fulner is unskilled, but regretfully, I have to admit she is completely right. She failed to stand out in any way. My compliments on a job well done, Lieutenants. Lieutenant Falkenmeyer's performance as Storm Vanguard was spectacular. Hell yeah. It's no surprise she excels in her role, otherwise she couldn't keep up with Captain Raulenstein after only being commissioned for half a year. On another note, watching Lieutenant Witzelbin was quite an experience. Though she seemed to be moving too much in her role as a rear support blast guard, she still provided precise covering fire while zooming around the battlefield, hitting the right targets at the right time. They all belonged to the same batch, but I would certainly place Lieutenant Fulner a step or two beneath them. Cerberus may not have lived up to my expectations, but they are a very competent fighting force. Anything less would have been unthinkable. Anyway, their members are all hand-picked from their elite after all. And yet, from what little I was able to see, I can't say there was a vast difference compared to other regular surface pilots. No, I don't care really. Isn't this the usual her anyway? I admit they're good people, but I can't condone service pilots acting this carefree right after an exercise. They should be reflecting, rather sternly at that, on their lacking results. Well, as real as it might feel, Jive still is nothing but a simulation. And Cerberus must be used to real combat, so maybe them not treating simulations with all due seriousness is just par for the course. I'm sure it's going to be different in the upcoming European live fire exercise. Facing off against other countries will not fail to bring their competitive spirit to the fore. That's when I expect them to perform closer to how they do in the field. I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't let the national funds that brought me here go to waste. I can't lose faith. Not this late in my exchange. I have to believe that there is plenty to learn from the following exercise. We'll see. We'll see. Lieutenant Fulner and the others should be on standby in their rooms right now. The carrier is scheduled to depart early tomorrow morning. The final maintenance check on the TSF should be done by now. The lieutenants have many preparations to make for tomorrow's voyage, so I was guided to the mess hall by an administrative official and had to eat dinner alone. I'm done with today's scheduled activities. This might be the first time since I entered military school that I've had the luxury of having too much free time for myself. Good grief. Being around Lieutenant Fulner all day always makes me exhausted, but in a way, it is lonely without her. What the hell am I thinking? Ridiculous. I'm not a child. I have absolutely no trouble coping with whatever comes my way, even if she isn't at my side. Inconceivable. I was only thinking about her personality and the way she acts. I mean, it would feel lonely if that cheerfulness went away. Listen to yourself, Seijurou. I'm not lonely at all. I'm just impatient. Yes, that's it. And I got even more impatient after witnessing today's simulator training. That's why, and this is highly unusual for me, I can't settle down. I know I can't quite judge their performance when they have yet to use real TSFs, but it's jives we're talking about here. Logic dictates the results must be very close to the real thing. Even if Cerberus deems a mere simulation not worth taking seriously, one does not simply overcome sensory deception of that level. Curses. I can't help thinking my worries are justified. There might be nothing worth my attention during the live fire maneuvers either. I would have no time to feel conflicted if I were with Lieutenant Fulner, but at the moment I'm not, which is why I'm overly conscious of the fact, and that can only mean I'm not lonely at all. Yes. Quote. Some Latin, okay. In the unlikely event there is nothing to be learned from Cerberus in terms of military matters, I would have no choice but to bring home something else that can only be found in Europe. Let's not forget that it's the subjects of the Empire who have funded all my travel expenditures through their hard-earned taxes. If I go home empty-handed, everything would have been for nothing. Meaningless. Not only would it be meaningless, it would be committing fraud. Not just me, but House Makabe would also be liable for my actions, and the Royal Guard as well. So after giving the matter some careful consideration, the most suitable alternative to bring home with me would be the spirit of chivalry. Now I'm right back to where I started. Thinking about it, I can't say the simulator exercise was a complete waste of time. At the very least, it made me realize how carefree they are. Instead of the usual discipline you see on the front lines, these men and women partake in frivolous diversions with alarming regularity. Worse, that isn't even accounting for the lacking manners of some of their members. And while I'm confident all my observations are the objective truth, I have to admit they also successfully completed their mission. Their performance was far from what I expected from a supposedly legendary unit, but I would argue they fared better than the average force would have in their place. So how can we explain this discrepancy? Could it be they're not as individualistic as I thought? After all, they couldn't have achieved victory without sharing some sort of subconscious bond. I'm sure this tacit knowledge is the traditional spirit of chivalry that dwells in each pilot. It's what leads them to perform beyond their individual capabilities. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Here I thought I could learn about chivalry by watching Cerberus in action and compare what I see to the precepts of Bushido. Thinking about it now, that approach might have obscured the true nature of what I wanted to learn. Frankly speaking, the only thing I know is that I know nothing about the spirit of chivalry. But at the very least, today's simulator exercise has set me on the right path. There's just one last chance left to accomplish my task. Tomorrow's joint exercise. Yeah, let's see. I couldn't sleep, so I came here. I'm staying in front of Lieutenant Falkenmeyer's room, but I'm having trouble mustering up the courage to enter. It's been several minutes now, but I've been hesitant to knock. Should I even ask her directly? Is that something Lieutenant Falkenmeyer would condone? These past few days I've been trying to obtain something. However, to my shame, I still haven't determined exactly what I'm looking for. Of course, I have learned a lot of minor things, but it all comes down to mere trivia. The valuable resources of the Empire finance my stay in Europe. I have to ensure I can return home with my head held high. If there's nothing else I can do, I at least want to catch a glimpse of the European spirit of chivalry. Naturally, I don't plan on this being a one-sided deal. Since Lieutenant Falkenmeyer has shown clear interest in Bushido, we are in perfect position to learn from each other. That is mere sophistry. Nothing but cheap words to justify my actions. I need to stop lying to myself. Lieutenant Falkenmeyer always felt the closest to a real samurai, to my own sensitivities. That's the sole reason why I'm trying to force her into the role of my noble confidant. In the end, I'm simply taking advantage of her. But I need to do this. What? What was that just now? Was that seductive voice coming from Lieutenant Falkenmeyer? You stupid idiot, of course it's her voice. It's coming from her room, who else could it be? This is regrettable. I've come at the worst of times. She's speaking in German, so I don't know exactly what she is saying. The tone of her voice is enough for me to understand. Behold how the language barrier is broken. Oh. Wait, no. My feelings for the lieutenant are pure and innocent. That was just my subconscious going into overdrive. Surely I can't be blamed for something completely out of my control. Oh, she's okay. She's fawning over something adorable, showing her more feminine side, but of course she's doing it in private. Good Lord Almighty! Why am I acting like this out of the ordinary? She's a service pilot, but a woman first and foremost, and we're on the front lines here. It's only natural she craves human warmth. It wouldn't be strange at all for a pure and beautiful noblewoman like her to have been courted by a man or two. She could easily have had 4 or 5 fiancés by now. It was the last night before she has to sortie for the live fire exercise. No matter how unlikely death is a real possibility, for the lieutenant and her partner, their time together must be worth more than anything. It's regretful, but it seems I won't get another chance to consult with the lieutenant, and so it would be cruel for me to deprive her of... Not a thing. Not a thing. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lieutenant. There's something I wanted to ask you about. I only got here a few seconds ago and was just about to knock. Huh? What? Come on in. Could this be the point of no return? What are you going to do, Seijurou? It would be highly suspicious to refuse her offer, but her companion must still be inside. Wait, that's it. Of course, the lieutenant is surely aware that a samurai is forbidden from bending the truth. Since I said that I saw and heard nothing, the lieutenant is acting as if there was nothing. That is because she won't allow me to shoulder this blunder on my own. Mother of God! She is a true knight. As a samurai, I would bring shame upon myself were I not to respond in kind to her gallant spirit. So respond I shall. Even if there is a man stark naked inside the room and the air is so thick with the lingering aroma of his Johnson that I might choke, it shall not be a problem. I will simply ignore any remnants of his presence. Yes, please excuse me. Heavens. What? There's no one here? Thought me and her partner found a place to hide in the 2 minutes or so we were talking outside the room. All without making a single sound and without leaving any evidence behind. Simply impossible. First of all, this room is simply too small. There's no place where a grown man could possibly hide. Not to mention, there's absolutely no trace of their nighttime activities. The sheets are clean, and I can't spot a single stain. Albeit, his discretion is admirable. Our man must be a master of stealth. Maybe he's taking advantage of the marvels of West German architecture to hide from me before I can notice. No one could fit inside the locker, which only leaves the shower. Is this the place full of mind readers? No one's in there?
Seijurou, 浴びていくかなんて。
Lieutenant's desperate to prove her innocence, but that's right, she'll end up revealing her partner's hiding spot. What should I do? The darkness would be too much. Wait a second. Is that a teddy bear? Why is there an object that wouldn't look out of place among the belongings of a little girl sitting in plain sight in the room of a woman who is as dignified as a lieutenant? Oh, I finally get the picture. Here I was thinking she's with another gentleman, but there's only her and this cute little teddy. Are you for real? Oh no. Inconceivable. This is madness. The lieutenant, as steadfast as a cliff against the waves of the ocean, is filled with shame to the point where she's been reduced to a whimpering maiden. Could it really be? Indeed, 'twas I. So it was you. Please keep looking after the lieutenant, my little friend. Please be at ease, Lieutenant. A samurai's oath is sacred. I promise to say I saw nothing, thus I am duty-bound to take the truth to my grave. I love her. A glimpse of Bushido. In the forced stoicism of Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, I have witnessed a precious glimpse of the samurai code. This is a fortuitous development, one that has made me realize how much I've been fixated on the differences between Bushido and chivalry. However, this was not a fruitful line of inquiry. Today, I have seen the truth in the Lieutenant's tears, a medium that transcends the barriers of language and culture. Now that the bond between samurai and knight has been forged, I can only laugh at how insignificant the differences in our values are. I guess you were right, Lieutenant Falkenmeyer. Virtue is a matter of deeds. It is only thanks to your sacrifice that such a valuable lesson could be engraved upon my soul. How dignified she looks when she is trying her hardest to suppress her shame. The secret she wants nobody to learn about may be exposed, yet she's trying her utmost to remain kind and considerate. You see, I've run into a problem. Kind of a serious one, I might add, and I wanted to ask for your advice. I'm only going to ask for her counsel. Ultimately, it's up to me how to decide how I should proceed. Yes, according to the chase, I've started to think I may not gain anything of value from my stay here. Truth be told, I feel sort of lost about the matter. I think it all boils down to unreasonable expectations. I got carried away after hearing about the exploits of the legendary Cerberus battalion. There was no way reality could live up to my lofty expectations. There's no point in hiding my doubts. I will speak plainly and give her my honest impression of Lieutenant Fulner and the unit as a whole. I should not concern myself with what Lieutenant Falkenmeyer might think. All I should care about is how to repay the people who sacrificed so much to send me to this faraway land. Nothing else matters. Day 7. Alright, on. So we're not gonna learn anything about their little conversation together? No? Okay. Is something gonna happen to Helga now? Like, something's gonna happen to the one person, like, you showed interest in? Like, they're gonna be, like, so preoccupied with, like, trying to impress you, trying to show you something worth taking back to your homeland, that they end up doing something that fucks them over? Is that what I'm about to see? I sure hope not. The European live fire exercise. We departed from Dover Complex at 4 in the morning. It'll take around 20 hours to reach the Shetland Islands. During this time, Cerberus has allowed me to tour the inside of the first aircraft carrier Typhon, and I did appreciate it, of course. What I was not so keen on was having Lieutenant Fulner as my guide. The experience was excruciating. Halfway through the tour, it was me who took on the role of the guide, and to explain the functions of every single facility in this ship. Good grief. Cerberus will charge at the beta under the cover of the heavy metal clouds. Once the heavy laser-class beta are eliminated, they'll shift to mopping up the remaining enemies in the area. There's no doubt the battalion has been assigned the most critical and most demanding task. It's obvious they're considered an elite fighting force. I still have my doubts about them, to be honest, but I guess I should try to observe the live fire exercise free of any preconceptions. Luckily, this is not my first time at the rodeo. I think I'll be able to determine Cerberus' actual battle prowess without much difficulty. Above all, I should get closer to the actual meaning of chivalry. I can only pray my time here won't be for nothing. Which reminds me of Lieutenant Falkenmeyer's words from yesterday. So... I see. So that's how it is. Not entirely unexpected, I suppose.
意味がない。どれだけもがき苦しもうとも何にもよらない聖十郎だけの力でだ。
Thank you very much, Lieutenant. I appreciate your candor.
答えを持って臨むとはさすがだな聖十郎。
I wish I could be as confident as you are in my capabilities, Lieutenant. Sadly, I fear I'm not quite there yet. At the very least, however, my path has become clearer thanks to your words.
そうか。
I'll do whatever it takes to find my answer in the little time I've got left. I'm determined to leave with no lingering regrets. Thank you for listening to me. Even though it's right before the sortie, I won't take any more of your time.
お前と似たような問題を抱えた奴が我が隊にはいてな。
Huh?
いや、奴らと言うべきか。みんな。
Lieutenant?
だからこそ人が。いや、忘れてくれ。
What was that all about? Yes, I'm quite curious of that myself. I think Lieutenant Falkenmeyer was about to tell me something important. Focus. You can think about it later. I need to give the live fire exercise my undivided attention. This will be the crowning moment of my visit, when the essence of chivalry is finally revealed to me. The moment of truth, so to speak. This is where I will learn a lesson worthy of taking back to the Empire. I came to Europe a mere cadet, but will return to Japan a soldier, ready and willing to lay my life on the line for the people. That is the fate of those born as Makabe.
おらおら行ったぞいやボールを海に落とすんじゃねえぞ逆サイだ逆サイバカ今ドフリーだったぜ
Inconceivable. Apparently the male pilots have confused the carrier's deck with a soccer field. This is an affront to the exercise. Give back the excitement I worked so hard to build up. Give it back. How infuriating, I say. Simply outrageous. Just look at them. Did the European people mistake war for sports? No, but it can always get worse. Case in point, there's also a bunch of female pilots sunbathing on deck, wearing nothing but swimsuits, of course, and there's another group holding a fancy tea party inside the hangar. They're treating this exercise like a sunny vacation on the Caribbean. I can understand wanting to relax before things get heated. I really can. But this is overkill.
あら、こんなところにいたのね、清十郎。
Lieutenant. She's always the same, no matter the time and place. I'm sure she's aware the eyes of all Europe will be on them, but her demeanor hasn't changed in the slightest.
シェットランド諸島はまだ遥か彼方。ずっと海を見ていても何も見えないわよ。
I'm aware, Lieutenant. Just looking at the waves helps me clear my thoughts. What do you think I should pay attention to during the exercise tomorrow?
清十郎が見るべきところ
Yeah,
は
of course,
決まってるわ。
look at me.
それはこの私、イルフリーデ・フォイルナーの狩る台風よ。
Okay.
清十郎が喜ぶなら、私もっと頑張って大活躍するからね。
If you say so. This may sound disrespectful, but after seeing her performance in the simulation, I don't think there's anything particularly noteworthy the Lieutenant could show me.
はあ、それにしても、なんでシェットランド諸島なのかしら。地中海だったら泳げたのに。
If you ask me, Lieutenant, I'm not sure you're supposed to wear a swimsuit during an operation. That's regardless of where said operation is taking place.
人の健康面から言っても、日光浴はとても大事なのよ。
I realize this is not actual combat, but you will be competing head-to-head against the very best of the EU has to offer. Now, I know it's not my place to tell you what to do, but perhaps you should keep your mind focused on what lies ahead.
もちろん、演習が始まればみんな気を引き締めるわよ。でも、現地に着くまでまだまだ時間がかかるし、今...
I'm not getting through to her. The way we think is fundamentally different. I wonder if my colleagues were right. Maybe they've given up on their homelands, or they weren't serious fighters from the start. An alert? Why? We're still a considerable distance away from the exercise grounds. Oh. Lieutenant Fulner, what is going on?
もしかしたら、予定は全部キャンセルかもしれないわね。
What?
おい何やってんだイルフリーで行くぞ
行くわよ、清十郎。
Oh shit.